All right, let me share. There's Megan. Okay. Sorry, I'm used to Teams. Zoom is not my first app that I use all the time. So thank you for your patience. For those of you who just joined us, I am recording this so that we have it for people that maybe couldn't join us. So just wanted you to be aware of that. Okay, can everybody see a full screen here that says just for kids on there? Is that a yes or a no? I can't see anybody's.
It looks good.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So you are here tonight to go over kind of communications leads. I can't tell you enough how important you are to this campaign, especially as we have evolved with communications, you know, throughout the year. So just to go through a little agenda here first. Basically, thanks for being here. Secondly, we'll go through and do introductions, but my name is Kirsten Davis. I have been volunteering for this campaign since, I think my very first campaign was 2015. So I think this is my fourth campaign. I went to Balboa, Salk, and Shadle. My kids went to Balboa, Salk, and Shadle. So I firmly am a supporter of what Spokane Schools does and how they educate. So I'm super appreciative of the work that gets done. So I would like to just go around real quickly, if you don't mind, and tell us which school you're from. I am a tri-chair for the campaign, but I basically lead up the communications side of it. So that's kind of my role and why you're with me tonight. So I, for some reason, can't see. Let's see if I can do this. I'm having a hard time seeing all of you on my screen. So you may just have to be extroverted, which I would think is probably makes sense since you chose this to sign up for this committee. So if you wouldn't mind just kind of going around and saying who you are and which, not only which zone you're in, but also which school you are with.
Hi, my name is Katie Droder. I'm in Zone LC, and I work at Sacagawea Middle School.
Great, thank you.
My name is Ryan Leonard. I'm the NC zone, and I work at Logan Elementary.
Hi, my name's Danny Martini, and I'm in the LC zone, and I'm volunteering for LC.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lundberg. I'm in the NC zone, and I am at Yasuhara.
Hi, I'm Alexis Padgham. I'm in the LC zone and I work at Wilson. And I am Jessica. I'm in the NC zone and I work at Tech Bryant.
I'm Megan. Oh, go ahead.
I'm Corey Kaler, and I'm in the NC zone, and I'm the president of the parent board at the community school.
And I'm Megan Jerome, and I'm in the NC zone, and I'm at Garfield Elementary.
Hi, I'm Julia Rendell. I'm in the NC zone and I'm also at Yasuhara.
Hi, I'm Marcos Nunez. I'm at the NC zone and I'm at Yasuhara also.
Hi, I'm Sarah Etter. I'm in the LC zone and I'm from Jefferson.
I'm Tommy Jacobs in the NC zone and I work at NC.
Gail, did we get you?
No, you didn't get me. I'm trying to drive here and multitask. Hey, Gail McDowell, Audubon communication rep, and that's why I'm here. NC.
Great, thank you. And then Tammy, you just joined us. All right. So I kind of wanted to go over the structure to kind of give you the big picture. And by the way, if you have questions or comments, please just unmute yourself and jump in because I can't see everyone's name at the same time. So the structure we have for the entire campaign, as you know, you're attached to zones which are organized by the high schools, or that's how they're named. But this is where you fall in, is this communication leads. And there's actually more of you than this because we try to get at least one from each building. And I know that some of you are doing dual roles as maybe parent, volunteer and communications, that sort of thing. So thank you for doing that. Really, what we need you to do is when we are dealing with communications, what we really need you to do is to be the influencer in your community and at your school. This has kind of changed over the years. We used to really, probably the 2018 campaign, we worked really hard to get to build the audience for our Yes for Kids Facebook page. But while we're always welcome to have more, it's been more the strategy has been better if we can have you be influencers within your own communities and carry on messaging and amplify the good news. So this is kind of how we've evolved over time. So really your job is to be communicating with me and with your tri-chairs and with your volunteers in your community. The next thing we're going to kind of go over is, what are your responsibilities and what makes this work so well? So I try to make this real simple and break it down by these three categories. So we are so fortunate, and it's gotten so much better in the last few years, just with the kind of content that the school district is able to put out. They do great videos, they do great storytelling, and it's really effective, and it really puts a face to the kids that we're helping, and to what we're trying to accomplish. And it really is kind of that proof of performance. If we support bonds and levies, this is what it leads to, and this is the kind of quality education our kids are getting. So really what we want you to do is to share those positive stories, those engage with that content, and because when you engage, if as a on your personal pages, if you go on to the Spokane Public Schools Facebook page and maybe you share a story that they did, or if they captured an event at your school or in your community or even in your high school zone, and then you either comment on that or you share it yourself, that really opens that up to your contact list, and the people that are going to support you and value your opinion. So that is a great way to do that. So we really rely on the school district to be the information and the fact providers, and we share that information so that it's always consistent over time, and that, you know, everyone's saying the same message. And that's really our job, is to amplify what they are sharing and what the information that they're giving out, the activities that they do. And then our job is to share that out and then push that over the edge to say, vote yes for this, and this is why. The next thing is to monitor. So no one knows your community better than you do. You know, you've got your ear to the ground for what people are talking about, what people are frustrated with, what are the themes that are coming up. We fully expect that we're going to have some pushback, and, you know, there's still some residual negativity around the stadium and the fact that it was you know, moved to be built downtown after the advisory vote you know, indicated that the community wanted it at the Joe Albee site originally. We have all the information for that, and we will make sure that you have things that you want to say, you know, that ready to go. But if that seems to be something really significant in your area, please let me know and share that up with me, because we can approach communications from another angle. So really, I guess monitor would also, another term would be the mole. Let us know what's happening in your community. And another topic that we expect will be kind of a, you know, something that will be brought up as an obstacle, or things that people are maybe being negative about, are just in general tax concerns as a community. And, you know, the economy is a big factor right now for a lot of people. And so we wanted to just make sure that we are sharing that consistent information, and that we know where those pockets are in the community where we are needing to address those concerns, maybe more aggressively, or, you know, doing a better job of educating. And then finally, I always want to encourage you to the goal is not necessarily to respond to people when they are bringing up this negativity, but it's really to kind of bury that negativity in those threads. So if you're, you know, a frequent social media user, you see these threads that happen, and then people start chiming in. And so really what we want you to do is to fill those feeds, fill those comment threads with positive comments, and try not to get into the back and forth. Now, there are times when it's necessary to correct misinformation, and we'll go over a little bit of that in terms of best practices. So I want to go over a little bit about the tools and the resources that we have. So we have a Yes First, or obviously the tools. We have a yesforspokaneschools.org website, and that is what we use to kind of, you know, put all of our campaign information. Again, that's really, we link to a lot of the school district pages, because we're really just trying to amplify their information. And our job is to say, you know, yes, vote yes because of these facts and reasons. We have a Yes for Kids Facebook page that you'll start seeing interaction with. And then email communications, we do have a platform that we send out significant, you know, updates about the campaign to about 1,000 email addresses that we have. You probably have already seen some of those. We have everything broken up into different audience, or different mail lists, if you will. So you guys are probably on a communications list, you're probably on a tri-chair list, and you're also probably on the general information list, or at least you should be. And then finally, we have graphic assets that those will be kind of our, you know, our visuals that we'll use in our social media. So wanting to make sure that we have the graphics, the Yes for Kids graphics, will be getting new updated ones that indicate the exact date, the February 13th voting date. There will also be some graphics that will kind of partner with the library campaign, and I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move through. And then resources, again, SpokaneSchools.org is really our go-to for factual information, and we always want to push people back there. and then Spokane Public Schools and their social media. So again, engaging with their different social media accounts and sharing them from your personal accounts as well.
Kirsten, quick question. This is Danny.
Uh-huh.
Is there a reason why we don't have an Instagram for the Yes for Kids as well?
And we've talked about that. I should, as I'm mentioning that. So my partner in crime, volunteer, her name is Jessica Fisher, and she unfortunately couldn't be on this call tonight, but she actually does social media as her day-to-day work. The challenge, we talked about that, about should we do an Instagram page, because we know that is a significant audience. With Instagram though, it's more of it's not as conversational. So what we want to do though is we want to incorporate it in ways and give you tools to share. So when there is something on the Spokane schools Instagram page, we can notify you to say, hey, if you have Instagram, either comment on this, share this, see that out there, and try to get that out in the feed. In terms of managing it, the vote yes isn't really, and we may change this, but at this point we're feeling like, Instagram is more of a, you don't really do daily updates as much as you do maybe once a week type of thing. So that's kind of where we are with that. And I appreciate that question. And if people have ideas around that, certainly open to that.
Comment on that.
Yeah.
And primarily because a lot of the kids use Instagram, and I know, like, I follow a bunch of my friends' kids and or my son's friends and their children, and they will share things as well, and their parents will be able to see things maybe they wouldn't otherwise see if they are following their own kids. It seems like a way to get the kids to start sharing the stuff as well, because the kids aren't really on Facebook.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. So here's a good example of how we can utilize that situation. What we would like to do then is make sure that that we have available content for them to share that is Yes for Kids content. So maybe it's a graphic, maybe, I'm open to all sorts of ideas that we, if they want to do videos, whatever it is, that has the Yes for Kids graphic included. And then they're sharing it through their pages. Something as simple as, this is why, I love playing basketball. And if we don't have levy funds, my basketball goes away, kind of a thing. I mean, I'm just throwing that as an example, but what we can do is make sure that they have elements that they can utilize in their own on their personal pages. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. Any other questions? All right, now I'm going to get into kind of best practices, and these are actually some examples from the last campaign. And I've already kind of touched on this, but first and foremost, always being positive. We really don't want to, we're going to have people that are going to be negative about it. But we really just want the positive voices to be louder and have more, just more weight in terms of numbers of people. So that's the first and foremost thing. And then secondly is to be authentic. So while I want everyone to have consistent information, I really want you to speak from your own authentic voice. So that what that may look like is, for example, myself, I may do a personal post that says, I have gone to Spokane Public Schools, my kids went to Spokane Public Schools, and this is why I'm voting yes for the bond and the levy. And then including the graphic that we provided you.
I can't figure out how to get this on speaker right now.
Oh. All right. So that would kind of be an example. We want you to use your own voice. We certainly want
And then
the,
that Zoom
the
thing.
information to be
Where'd the dog go?
consistent. But we don't want it to sound like a form letter. We want to make sure that we are authentic in our voices at all times. And
Hi.
then again, like I just spoke to, avoiding confrontation is important. We want to make sure that, you know, we're not getting into this and that. And if we really run into a real challenge, please just let me know, and I can, you know, I can craft some things, or we can find other ways around that. And then finally, accuracy and consistency. So connecting people to those facts is super important.
I'm not on screen.
And that leads me to my question. This is Katie Droder, Sacagawea. I missed last week's meeting, and can I get in my work email, not work email, I'm so sorry. Can somebody interschool mail me some of the facts? Did you guys do a sheet with
Yeah, so we have handouts, and really that's what I will be doing, is feeding you information.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that would really be the goal. And I know that as a group, we've gotten the feedback that texting is really helpful, but there may be times where I need to send documents and, you know, a little bit deeper information. And not that I couldn't include those in a text, but I'm working with a platform, the Remind platform, that I haven't used before. And so I want to make sure that we are, you know, that we're pushing that out. And so
yes.
We definitely
And so
want
what
to
I'm
make sure
asking,
Yeah.
what I'm asking is, can you interschool mail that to me, some physical papers with that information?
I cannot interschool mail that because that would be
Oh.
against PDC.
Gotcha. And
Yeah.
so how can I get those forms from you?
Right. So most of you are going to probably be attending your zone meetings at some point, I'm assuming. And so all of those materials will be available through your zone leaders.
Thank you so much. I was a little hazy on that. I
Yep.
appreciate it.
No problem. Good question. I'm trying to figure out, I don't know why. Bear with me for a minute here.
You know, you could,
Got somebody who
next year, you
to
could.
mute.
You could say, oh,
Low battery is not muted and it's interfering with everything.
I know, I'm trying to find. Okay. Maybe we're better now.
what are these? Those are the babies. We'll just have.
Nope.
Okay. All right. We might be a little better there. So just to give you a few examples, you know, when all of you kind of start to chime in and get your friends and family to support the campaign, then this is what it can start to look like. And we love seeing these notifications about people reacting to, you know, school events, things that maybe we're pushing out. And you really want to engage with your own communities too. This one on the bottom corner, this KHQ local news, this was an example that, you know, they just decided to put out a poll, and I saw it right away because I follow the media. So I instantly pushed out to our communication and, you know, digital team to say, hey, jump on, share this poll, you know, say yes. And we were able to get, you know, quite a few people to respond, and you can see the positive response down there. So those are kind of those instant where you might get a text or something where I'll be like, hey, if you see it, jump on it and take care of it, kind of a thing. This will probably also come into play with Nextdoor. I don't know how many of you maybe interact with Nextdoor, but that can be a real source of negative comments that kind of start getting real crazy. And so if there's something going on in a community, in your Nextdoor community, that we need to address, it's just really helpful if you guys can monitor your communities and let us know what's happening. And then again, push that comment thread stream to the positive side. And when people have real challenges or, have misinformation, let me know and I can interject from a different perspective.
Now, I'm a lead moderator on Nextdoor.
Oh, okay.
And so what you can do is post positive things and close the discussion so that the negativity can't come up. I did that all last levy, was talk about equality versus equity, that kind of thing. And then I would post, I'd make my statement and close the discussion so that nobody could go negative.
Okay. That's fan. So you're a lead moderator for your community?
And yeah, Perry well, actually, yeah, I'm a lead moderator for the city. There's a lot of us, not just me. There's lots of us.
Well, because it's organized by neighborhood.
Yes, but when you're a lead, you would vote on anybody in the Spokane area.
Yeah. So you can manage that. So that's great. I'm not going to interfere with how you operate that. But just know that Nextdoor can be a real, as you, I'm sure, see,
oh
Katie,
God,
it's a real breeding ground for.
It's bad.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, you want to keep it positive, and then if you post things, just make it so that it can't be discussed. You've had your say and there's no discussion.
Yeah. And really, what on Nextdoor, I would say kind of look for when things are posted or something, or, we're not going to proactively engage and start conversations about the bond and levy on Nextdoor. That wouldn't be our approach. Okay. However, if, there's always somebody that says, what do people think about the bond and levy, right? That just a normal resident would maybe put in there, and then people start chiming in. So those are the things we want to look for, and really just put in those positive comments and then that factual information, and link people to that information. So we wouldn't be originating content there, but we definitely want to monitor it and make sure that we are being positive and seeing what's being said out there, because that's probably a good place we're going to find out where some of our objections are that we can address if necessary. Okay, so now we're going to kind of get into, what we're going to do over the next 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks, 7 weeks? There's this little thing called, Christmas and New Year's in there in between too. So I know this is a tough time of year to be doing this, but so really between now and January 14th, we, just stepping up your engagement and your amplification of what the school district is doing. Again, they do a great job of getting that information out. And one of the things from the Yes for Kids perspective that I do with the Facebook pages during like those high activity times. So when graduations happen, I tend to jump on there and say, congratulations, so that people are seeing that Yes for Kids message, even when we're not in an election period. And then that first week of school gets back, that's the day of that's the week of the spirit games between LC and Ferris and Shadle and NC. So you're going to see all sorts of social media around that event with pictures. So engaging with that and, saying things like, this is why I will continue to, this is why I'll be voting yes, just kind of adding that extra push and sentence about supporting the vote on top of what's going on, because you're getting a lot of eyeballs at that time. And then in January around the 16th or so is when all those yard signs are going to start being distributed. So, and when we kind of get all those out at the same time, we call it a yard set. We call it a yard sign bloom, kind of like flowers coming up. And so we also like to do that with profile pictures. So everyone will be equipped with, a Yes for Kids kind of graphic that you can change your profile picture to that. And we can also do frames, that sort of thing. So there'll be more tools coming along, but so that's where we kind of just want to start getting that awareness that the vote is coming, and look for, we want people to vote for yes. And then ballots actually go out that last week in January. And so what we want you to do is to take that button and say, you know, yes, I support it, but yes, I have voted and I voted yes. And then finally, at the end of the campaign, knock on wood, we're undefeated since for about 40 years. However, I will tell you that this is probably one of the highest chances that we could not pass the bond. We feel pretty confident in the levy, but you know, all of the districts are concerned because of the economy and kind of the narrative out there about taxes in general. But our school district is in a great place. It's, you know, they're getting some of the highest just positive feedback that they've ever had. We have really great graduation rates. So there's a lot of positive feedback about how this district handled the pandemic, which I think all of us at the time, you know, it was nothing is going right, and you know, this isn't how it should be happening. But now, in retrospect, people have very positive feelings about it. So, you know, we just want people to know that that you have voted, and at the end we're gonna, you know, assume that we're gonna win. So that day after, we want to thank everybody for their vote. So that's when you'll see also, you know, just like we are out sign waving on those arterials saying vote yes, the day after the vote happens, then we're going to be out there with thank you signs saying thank you for your vote as well. So that's kind of the window of different, you know, kind of how we step through the campaign. That's kind of what we expect. So I'm just open to questions. There'll be more to come, and I'll kind of just give you email and text updates probably on a weekly basis, if not more often if necessary. And I really want this to be a two-way communication. So let me know either what your ideas are or what would help you just, you know, communicate more often or better or in different ways. I'm open to all of those things. And so that we can really just, this is our grassroots from a digital perspective that that we can do with these tools. And so that is really the goal. Again, it's not as much about the idea is to get that branding of Yes for Kids out there. We're lucky in that we've had it for so many years and we use this every time, so people recognize it. And you know, your circles, people are going to support you if they don't know much about the bond or levy, but they know you support it. They're more likely to then support it themselves. So that's really the goal and the power of doing it this way. I'm going to stop sharing here. So what questions or what did I not cover that you're curious about, or what questions do you have for me? Anyone?
Who's the LC lead, please? Zone lead?
I don't have that. Well, maybe I do have that list in front of me.
Again, I missed last week and I don't have a lot of important information.
Yeah, no, no problem.
I think Jeremy Oakes is the LC zone lead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Katie, it's Jeremy Oakes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I know him, so I'll check in. Thank you.
Yep. And like I said, really in terms of some of those materials, like the master calendar, that sort of thing, you're going to kind of have that information through your zone leads. I'm really going to be feeding you this communication stuff, like, hey, we're noticing in the northwest part of town, we're getting a lot of chatter about this or that, you know, so make sure you're looking for that in your community so that you can, you know, again, just chime in with positive comments. One thing I want to also bring up is a couple things. One is that there's a differentiation. I don't know if any of you happen to manage your school social media pages, like, you know, Woodridge might have their own, you know, most of the grade schools have their own pages. So keep in mind that while you can engage personally with those pages, if you're managing that page, you can't be using that page to promote the yes vote. Does that make sense? So an example would be, maybe you manage that school page or your administrator, and you know, put out information about, maybe they're doing a video and you share that video. You can't from that page say, this is why we should vote yes. However, from your personal account, you could chime into that comment thread and say, this is great information and why I'm voting yes for kids. And then, however, with the PTG pages, there is a little bit more, like, for example, the PTGs can get on there and they could change their profile picture to, we voted yes for kids. Does that make sense? And there are quite a few rules around the public disclosure requirements, and you know, that can be a real sticky situation. So first and foremost, I'm going to say, if you're curious, or if you have that, I'm not quite sure if this is okay, don't do it. You will all have my cell phone number. You're welcome to reach out to me and just ask, let me know what you're trying to do and ask if it's okay, and I can guide you in that. So first do if you have any question at all, whether or not this is, you know, something is okay to do from a public disclosure requirement perspective, please just reach out and ask before you move forward.
Hey, Kristen, it's Gail. I'm not getting any information on my email or text. I found out about this meeting from my principal. Who do I need to reach out to?
Oh, well, that would probably be me. So what, if you don't mind just telling me what your email is, and then I can double check if it's.
Yeah, it's GARGAYLE@msn.com.
Okay.
And then do you want my phone number for Texas?
Yeah, that'd be great.
509-869-0874.
Okay, perfect. I will, Gail, I'll check. I think I saw you sign up. Did you respond to a text about signing up to the Remind system? Some of you have responded and some haven't, but anyway, yeah, I will double check our list and make sure. I just saw your comment, or your chat comment, Kate, that I will, I'll check on that as well. So that's good to know.
Yeah, because I think I did do the Remind, but like I said, I haven't gotten anything. And luckily, Christine Gilmer sent this to me today.
Yeah, and I haven't sent a text yet, and I'm going to tell you all as well, you're going to be my guinea pig for that, because you're a smaller group. And the other tri-chair group is about 175 big, and so it'll be easier for me to kind of test things out with you guys. So in advance, I appreciate your patience, and if I don't do it very well to start off with. So Megan Reed, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because I noticed a little bit of your activity. Megan is on our leadership committee as well, and this is not her first rodeo either with these campaigns, but she's been picking up her engagement on social media too. So Megan, do you want to share just a little bit about kind of, you know, how you do what you do, what you look for, kind of how much time you spend? You know, we certainly are not expecting people to spend an hour a day doing this. It's like, oh, I'm on here, I'm going to go to the Yes for Kids, or I'm going to go to the Spokane Public Schools page, see what they're posting. Is it relevant to my community or my school? Or can I create a message that is authentic to it and share it out? That makes sense. So, so Megan, do you want to share maybe a couple examples of how you've done that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do just kind of exactly what you said. I go whenever I happen to be on. I first of all make sure you are already following Spokane Public Schools on Facebook, because if you are, they post frequently and it'll show up in your feed. And I, you know, anytime I see it, I like it, and then I'll just put a positive comment, because again, the more times there are comments on it, the more it'll pop up in people's feeds. And so, you know, even if it's something really short, I mean, sometimes I feel compelled to say something a little longer because it's something that I have a personal relationship with, but sometimes it's just, you know, something that I think, oh, that's great. And I might just say, oh, that's great. Or my kids have enjoyed this too, or something like that. Because it just, you know, it just adds the frequency and the exposure for people to see it. So, I mean, that's so far the main thing I do. Of course, in past campaigns, when Kristen has alerted us to some issues, you know, then I just go on and put a note. And, you know, I have friends that I know are sympathetic, and frequently I will shoot out an email to people and just say, hey, here's a link to this. Will you please, you know, add a positive comment?
Yep, that's how it's done right there. Anything else? I think just, I just really want to reiterate how powerful this group is. You really are that, you're that, the octopus of information and influencers in your own community. So doing this really makes a difference. It's doorbelling from your fingertips, but it's with people that you know, that trust you, and that are going to support you and what you want to see happen in your community as well. And reminding them that it does matter that they go out there. You know, the levy vote, we only have to have simple majority. The bond, we have to have the Megan, what's the word?
Is it super majority?
Super majority. I'm like, the bigger majority, I can't think of the word. So you know, that's a little tougher road. And so reminding people how important it is that they really do check both of those boxes. And really finding out if they have questions, let's answer them so that they have, you know, that they feel confident as to why they're voting yes and what they're doing. So, well, that's my dog and pony show. We are at 6:45. This is a really busy time. And I'm getting all these messages about adding you to lists. So I'm writing them all down and we'll get this done. But thank you again. Just look for, I'll get these lists completely updated and get it going. I'm just so happy to see so many people on this meeting. It really, I was thinking it's going to be me, myself, and maybe Megan, or I'm going to have, you know, a decent group. So I appreciate so much you guys taking the time to do this, especially 5 days before Christmas. And I know some of you, you know, kids are still in school and all of these things. So I just really appreciate your time and your energy, and know that it really makes a difference. All right. Well, thank you. And everybody have happy holidays, and we'll be in touch.
Hey, Kirsten, real quick question. I just
Uh-huh.
got a text from somebody who was supposed to be on here, but she had apparently a computer issue. And so I'm going to let her know that it is recorded and she can watch it. But how, are you going to send out the recording, or how are people going to access that?
Yep, I'm gonna upload it to my personal YouTube account, and then so it'll have a online link.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I will
All
let her
right.
know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.